From threatening to choke teammates,
You're about to get choked out!
to calculated manipulations using seduction as a weapon.
You wanna come in the hot tub?
These are the greatest rivalries in Hell's Kitchen history. Let's start with the three-way feud between Robyn, Kimmie, and Tiffany in Season 10. The warning signs were there from day one. Robyn arrived from Hollywood, Florida with a confrontational attitude and zero tolerance for what she saw as weakness. Kimmie came straight from the hood in Memphis, describing herself as someone who worked her butt off with no formal training, but plenty of street attitude. And then there was Tiffany, the Vermont sous chef, who wanted to prove she wasn't just some ditzy blonde, but had a short fuse when things didn't go her way. Now, these three strong personalities were bound to clash, but what made their rivalry so toxic was how it constantly shifted alliances and created an atmosphere where nobody could trust anyone. Initially, the trio actually found common ground in their shared hatred of teammate Barbie Marshall. In episode 2, after Barbie's poor performance during the Scallop Challenge, all three women turned on her. Robyn accused Barbie of dooming everything she touched.
I think we could use a little bit more hands-on from Barbie. Dig, bitch.
In episode 3, when Barbie's loud dishwashing woke up Tiffany, both she and Robyn confronted Barbie about her attitude, but Tiffany took it further, threatening to choke Barbie out.
You're about to get choked out! Knock it off! Grow up! You're 33!
I'm not about to get choked.
However, the worst was yet to come. During episode 5's Mexican night, Royce complained about Kimmie's taco, saying a Memphis girl like her could not make a better taco than he could. Now, this should have stayed between Royce and Kimmie, but Tiffany decided to weaponize the information. See, Tiffany had been drinking wine during the challenge, and something about the combination of alcohol and competitive stress brought out her worst instincts. Instead of letting Royce's comment die where it belonged, she decided to turn it into ammunition. Tiffany went to Kimmie and Robyn and told them about Royce's comment, but she didn't tell them the truth. She twisted the story, using Royce's words to blame completely different people from her own team. She said that Danielle, Dana, and Christina were the ones who complained about Kimmie's tacos.
Basically it was like the whole oh, she's from the South and why was she using flour tortillas type of shit,
When Kimmie discovered the truth, all hell broke loose. The next day, Kimmie called the trio pieces of crap for bad-mouthing her, and told Dana to kiss her rear. When Dana fired back, Kimmie didn't hesitate to return the insult. The red team was fracturing, and Tiffany's manipulation had lit the fuse. But the real war was just beginning. During episode 6's Fashion Night Challenge, they were paired together on seafood, and their partnership exposed fundamental differences that would destroy their friendship forever. Kimmie wanted to use spices and bold flavors. She knew that's what the judges had specifically requested. Robyn wanted to let the fish's natural flavors come out more. When their bland dish inevitably failed, Kimmie was furious. She had told Robyn multiple times to add seasoning, but Robyn had completely ignored her. Gordon's criticism was devastating. He reminded them how the judges requested spice, and told Kimmie to put her own input out, not let Robyn bully her. The public humiliation marked the end of their friendship, and the beginning of an all-out war. The rivalry reached nuclear levels during episode 9's Creative Steak Challenge. When it came time to choose which dish to present, the red team made their decision without properly tasting both dishes. They chose Robyn's over Kimmie's, and Kimmie felt completely betrayed. When Gordon tasted Kimmie's rejected dish, he declared it delicious, saying it almost tasted like a barbecue short rib. He even condemned the women for their poor decision. Kimmie felt vindicated, but betrayed. She had proved she could cook, but her own team had thrown her under the bus. The final confrontation came during episode 10's Steak Night Service, and it was brutal even by Hell's Kitchen standards. Despite Kimmie suffering a serious burn to her hand and arm, she refused to leave the kitchen. But when she returned, Robyn was less than pleased.
She's a baby. She is a cry baby.
On the meat station, their timing issues created complete chaos. When Robyn wanted to walk her hanger steaks, but Kimmie needed time to slice her thick fillets, Robyn got upset, flipped Kimmie off, and accused her of not knowing what she was doing. The situation worsened when Gordon discovered the truth. Robyn's hanger steak was improperly sliced, while Kimmie's fillet was perfectly cooked and sliced. The public humiliation sent Robyn completely over the edge. Gordon tried desperately to get them to work together, but Robyn had reached her breaking point. She said she had a problem with Kimmie as she could not stand her anymore. The argument eventually led to the entire team being kicked out of the kitchen. During deliberation, both women nominated each other for elimination, leading to another screaming match that nearly turned violent. Then, Robyn admitted she kept Kimmie close, because she keeps her friends close and her enemies closer. The mask was finally off. This had never been about teamwork. This was pure psychological warfare. While Robyn survived that elimination, Gordon had seen enough. He transferred her to the blue team, finally separating the feuding women. Kimmie sarcastically wished the blue team luck with Robyn, making it clear the relationship was beyond repair. Meanwhile, Tiffany had been building her own toxic legacy throughout the season. By episode 12, when her potato gratin came back raw, and Gordon accused her of not caring, her response was shocking. She argued that she cared about food more than her family. When sous chef Andy called her out on her poor attitude and being the sloppiest cook she'd ever seen in her life, Tiffany was finally eliminated. All 3 women were eliminated before the finale, proving that talent means nothing when teamwork dies. While Season 10 showed us what happens when a team implodes, Season 8 gave us a personal vendetta between 2 men that slowly consumed them both. Trev came into the competition with 5 years of kitchen experience, and a temper that was always just one bad service away from exploding. Russell, meanwhile, arrived with formal training from Le Cordon Bleu, and an ego that could barely fit through the Hell's Kitchen doors. For the first several episodes, Trev and Russell managed to coexist on the blue team, though tensions were always simmering. Trev struggled with consistency, earning multiple nominations and barely surviving elimination after elimination. Yet, Russell was establishing himself as a strong competitor, winning challenges and earning praise from Gordon. But in episode 6, everything changed. Gordon transferred Trev to the red team, and what should have been a fresh start became the catalyst for one of Hell's Kitchen's most explosive feuds. Trev was devastated by the transfer.
Yeah, wow, okay.
He had bonded with the guys and felt that they were getting along fine. Therefore, Russell saw Trev's departure as an addition by subtraction. Trev's time on the red team was a disaster. His aggressive personality clashed with the women, leading to multiple confrontations. But the real drama began in episode 9, when Gordon made a shocking decision and he transferred Trev back to the blue team, putting him right back in Russell's path.
I'm not happy to have Trevor back on the blue team. We want to get rid of him, so it's going to get a little grimy, it's going to get a little dirty.
Russell was not happy about the reunion. During that same service, Russell sent raw chicken and was kicked out by Gordon. When Trev was named Best of the Worst and had to nominate 2 teammates for elimination, he didn't hesitate to put Russell on the chopping block. Russell accused Trev of throwing him under the bus, and any pretense of teamwork was dead and buried. What made this rivalry so toxic was how it went beyond normal competition into psychological manipulation. In episode 10, when both teams had to create their own menus, Russell tried to input his ideas, but found himself shut down by both Trev and Vinny. Russell's reaction revealed his true character. He felt he was a better chef than both of them. But the real mind games began at 1:37 a.m., when Russell overheard Trev and Vinny complaining about him in the hot tub. Russell didn't just let this slide, and he confronted them directly, berating them for drinking instead of sleeping. The rivalry reached its most dangerous point during episode 13's dinner service. With only 4 chefs remaining, the pressure was at its absolute peak. Both men were struggling. Russell sent raw scallops and overcooked halibut, while Trev had his own timing issues. But when they were working on their final tickets, their communication completely broke down. Russell didn't have a salmon fired when Trev believed he should. The miscommunication led to a heated argument right in front of Gordon, with both men focused on blaming each other Then actually cooking.
Hey, you asked me how long. I gave you a time. Don't just sit there and say, I knew it.
Don't yell, guys. Come on.
Dude, seriously. I'm not trying to you over, Russ. Whatever.
Just shut up.
But the real explosion came back in the dorms during deliberation. When Russell delivered his threat, it showed just how personal this rivalry had become.
If you talk to me like you talked to me before about that salmon, I would have slapped the shit out of you.
Russell made it to the finale, but his toxic personality followed him all the way to the end. During the final service, when Rob announced he was out of tomato water without warning, Russell's reaction was pure venom. When Rob talked back to him, Russell completely lost control. The two men almost had a physical confrontation, much to Chef Ramsay's dismay. When Russell lost the finale to Nona, his reaction revealed the full extent of how his bad personality had poisoned everything around him. Unlike every other Hell's Kitchen runner-up before, or after him, Russell did not take his defeat graciously. Instead, he blamed his brigade for costing him the win, even threatening to blacklist them from any city he would work in. While everyone else celebrated Nona's victory, Russell was seen bitterly drinking champagne, consumed by his own hatred and arrogance. Now, our final rivalry is different from the explosive confrontations we've seen so far, because sometimes the most dangerous rivalries aren't the ones filled with screaming matches and physical threats. Rivalries can also be calculated ones, where every move is part of a larger psychological game. Season 4 gave us exactly that kind of rivalry between Corey Earling and Christina Machamer. It was only episode 2 when Corey made the move that would define Season 4's most fascinating rivalry. Named Best of the Worst after disastrous Red Team service, Corey had the power to nominate 2 teammates for elimination. Her first choice shocked everyone. Christina Machamer, the culinary student who had been performing well and seemed like a safe ally. But Corey's reasoning revealed the ugly truth behind her decision. She later admitted she nominated Christina because she was threatened by her intelligence and thought the latter made her look stupider than she is.
I feel like I was betrayed by my teammate. I think that sucks.
Corey saw Christina as a threat to her own image and decided to eliminate the competition before it could eliminate her. Christina felt completely betrayed, telling Corey she'd thrown her under the bus. The tears came, but so did the resolve. Christina declared she was gunning for Corey, and the gloves were officially off. But here's where this rivalry gets fascinating. Instead of continuing their war, both women realized they needed each other to survive. This led to one of Hell's Kitchen's most manipulative partnerships. They hatched a plan to eliminate the men one by one using seduction and manipulation. The hot tub became their weapon of choice, with Christina helping Jason take off his clothes while they pumped him for information about the blue team's weaknesses.
You want to come in the hot tub?
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Corey put a bad taste in my mouth. Using her body.
But even their alliance was poisoned by mistrust. Christina admitted she was working with Corey while plotting to get rid of her the next opportunity she would get. Meanwhile, Corey continued calling Christina all talk and no show behind her back. This wasn't friendship, it was a temporary ceasefire between two predators who knew they'd eventually have to turn on each other. As the season progressed, their relationship became a masterclass in competitive psychology. Corey's strategy was built on insecurity. She consistently targeted anyone who made her look stupid. Christina's approach was more calculated, keeping her friends close and enemies closer. Corey, who claimed to be threatened by Christina's intelligence, consistently proved Christina's intellectual superiority through her own emotional reactions and poor strategic choices. Christina, all the while, demonstrated the very intelligence that threatened Corey, winning 9 challenges, a Hell's Kitchen record at the time, while managing complex alliance dynamics with surgical precision. The most fascinating aspect of their rivalry was how well they worked together when forced to. During services, their kitchen communication was often flawless, with both women acknowledging that their teamwork was surprisingly effective. Christina even admitted she was surprised by how well she and Corey worked together, despite those two's problems at the very beginning of the season. This created a unique dynamic, bitter personal rivals who were also ideal professional partners. They hated each other, but needed each other, creating a toxic dependency that carried them both deep into the competition. Both women made it to the final 3, proving that their rivalry had actually made them stronger competitors. But the ending was fitting. Christina, the woman Corey had tried to eliminate for being too intelligent, became Hell's Kitchen's winner. Corey's biggest fear became a self-fulfilling prophecy. By targeting Christina early, she had created the very rival who would ultimately surpass her.